Here's a quick video to demonstrate how you can connect Power BI to your ServiceNow data using Power Automate. This enables you to display your ServiceNow data in a Power BI dashboard. Here's a quick overview of the process we'll be setting up. So we start off with our ServiceNow data, and we will set up a scheduled report to send the data we need in an email format to our Outlook account. We'll then set up a Power Automate flow to take any attachments that arrive with that email and save them to a SharePoint document library. Once the files are saved in the SharePoint document library, we can then connect Power BI to read that data from the SharePoint library. We can then set up a scheduled refresh in Power BI to ensure the Power BI dashboard reads the data in the same frequency that the ServiceNow scheduled report is sent. Here are the steps in detail. First, you need to go to ServiceNow and search for scheduled reports in the search function, and select Reports and Scheduled Reports. At the prompt at the top, then select New, and we'll set up a new scheduled report. This page will then show, and we first want to name our scheduled report. So in this example, we've just named it Scheduled Reports from ServiceNow. You will then need to search for the report that you want to be sent along with your email. So you should already have a report set up. If not, you will need to set this up first before setting up this scheduled email. The next fields to fill in are your email address. So enter your email that you'd like to receive the reports, and enter a subject for the email so you can identify what the email is. Next, just indicate the type of the attachment that we want to, the format of the attachment that we want to specify. So here we can select Excel. You can also select CSV from this drop-down. We also want to select our run frequency. So here we've selected daily. Often this is frequent enough for most reports from ServiceNow. With all those fields filled in, we can now submit our scheduled report and save it into the system. With our scheduled report set up in Power BI, it's now time, in ServiceNow, apologies, it's now time to set up the Power Automate flow to capture the data from that email and save it into a folder. We can do this by going to Power Automate and search for the Save My Email Attachments to a SharePoint document library Power Automate template. This particular template uses a combination of SharePoint, Office 365 and Office 365 Outlook data. So you just need to make sure any connections have a green tick at the bottom here before we continue. Then select Continue, and we'll take you through what fields to enter. When you're first prompted with this box in Power Automate, you first need to specify which folder in your Outlook account you want the Power Automate to work from. So in this case, we've selected our inbox because the scheduled report from ServiceNow will be sent directly to our email inbox. You can set up an individual folder in your Outlook account if you wanted to here to keep the email separate. But in this example, we've used our inbox. We next just want to detail the from field. So in this case, we'd use the ServiceNow email address that sends the scheduled report to our mail account. So we just enter that email account there. And next, we'll scroll down in Power Automate down to the Yes condition field. And there's lots of fields in this condition already set up, but the only ones we need to define are our SharePoint site address and folder path. So the site address will be the high-level address of your SharePoint area or page, and the path will be the specific folder where we want to save the email attachment into the folder. Once you've defined those, simply click Save. Then it's time to go to Power BI and set up the connection. So when you go into Power BI, select New Source, and from the options it provides you, select SharePoint folder. Then click the Connect button and you'll be prompted to enter a site URL for your SharePoint folder. Now, we previously entered this in the Power Automate section, so you simply take the address from the Power Automate page and enter it here, and then click OK. And you have now set up your Power Automate to detect attachments from your email account, save them into a folder on SharePoint, and now your Power BI will collect that data from that SharePoint folder. Just make sure that once you've got this published, to set up a scheduled refresh to match the frequency of your ServiceNow scheduled reports. So in this example, we had a daily report sent to us from ServiceNow, so it would make sense to set up a scheduled refresh to occur every 24 hours and at the same frequency to match that of our report. Now just an overview of the process we've set up. So we've taken our data from ServiceNow using a scheduled report, which sends an email to our Outlook with an attachment of the data we need. We've then set up a Power Automate flow to detect email attachments and save them to our SharePoint document library. With the files now saved into our SharePoint library, we've set up the connection so that Power BI reads the data from that SharePoint library. And then the last step is in Power BI just to make sure we've set up our scheduled refresh to again match the frequency that our scheduled report is sent. And that completes the loop of how you connect Power BI to your ServiceNow data. What data problem are you trying to solve? Please let us know in the comments and we'll be happy to help. Thank you for listening.